Welcome to Corechamp's new topic, that is Blender software, in which we are going to learn so many different type of animations and different type of rendering also. So in this video we are going to learn about the basics of this software, like about each and every basic aspects, different properties, how to use this software. So this particular video is for those guys who are going to learn Blender for the very first time. So let's start. So currently we are using Blender 2.83 software. You can download it. It's a free software. The moment you will open the software, this screen will pop up in front of you. To get rid of this middle picture, just click on any empty surface. So now we have entered into our Blender part. So currently, in the very first time, you will be seeing one cube on your work plane. That cube is there by default, and the other two objects are available. One of them is light, another one is camera for the view part. Alright, so before starting about different properties, let's first learn about the different viewports in Blender. So to check out the viewports, you just have to click on the view button, which is available out here. Click on the view and then drag to the viewport, and as you can see on this panel, we have different set of views available, and their shortcut key is also available here. Like if you want to see the camera view, you can press numpad 0, or you can either directly click on any of these tabs to go to that particular view. Alright, so like currently I want to see the top view. I will just click on the top. So now my screen has been moved to the top section, and if I want to see the front view, I will just click number 1 on my numpad. Alright, so before starting, I will just turn my screencast keys so that you can see that, like whichever key I am pressing, you can see on your videos also. Alright, so in the left bottom section, in this part, you can see whichever key I am pressing on my keyboard. Like if I want to move to the right viewport, I will just press number 3. Now I am in my right viewport, and by clicking different numbers, I can change my viewport. Alright, by clicking number 1, here's my front view again. Okay, so the second part in our 3D designing is scaling of our object. Scaling means to change the size, dimension of your selected object. Okay, for that you have options available on the left tab, that is like rotate, scale, transform. So using these options you can scale up your object, but here in this case we will be using our shortcut keys so that you can proceed your steps more faster and more quick manner. So I'll just select my object. To select your object while installing, you will get an option like via which mouse key you want to select. So in my software, I have selected that with the help of my right keys, I will select the object. You can even choose the left keys option also. So if both of the options are fine, it's completely depend on your requirement, on your type, like whichever keys you prefer, you can use those sections to select. It's only for the mouse. The rest, each and every part is similar to every aspects of the software. Alright, so I've currently selected my cube. As you can see, an orange line surrounding my cube, that means my cube has been selected. So I will just press the S key. After clicking the S, you can see a green line and red line highlighted. So my object will be scaled on these lines. Like as you can see, I'm just moving my mouse cursor to increase the size of my object. Alright, so if like this size is perfect for me now. And to scale in particular direction, like if I want to only scale in x-axis, so this red line represents x-axis and green line represents the y-axis. So if I just want to scale my object on the x-axis, I will just select my object, click S, and then I will select X. So now the my object is only being scaled on the x-axis. Like if I want my object like in this manner, so my object has been scaled on x-axis, and if I want to squeeze it along its y-axis, again I will select my object, press X, and then I will press Y. Now my object is being scaled on the y-axis only. Alright, so after that, if you want to improve its height, you can press again S and then press Z to increase or decrease the height of your selected object. Alright, so here we are. I will just again get back to the normal position. Okay, so here I'm back again. Okay, so the next part is how to rotate your object. So to rotate your object, again you have to select that particular object whichever you want to rotate, and for that we again have this rotate option available here, and also there is a shortcut key which we will be using again more and more in our upcoming videos. So you have to learn those shortcut keys to improve your speed on this blender. For that, just click on the R button and then you can easily rotate your object. So if you are stuck anywhere, you can just press escape and your object will be again back into its initial position. Second thing is, there are few other shortcuts available for the rotate button. Like if you want to rotate particularly on your x-axis, then I will just click R and then press my X button. So now my object will be only rotating on my x-axis. Similarly, it's with y-axis also. If I want to rotate it on y-axis, then I will just press S and then press Y to rotate it on my y-axis. Other thing is, if you want to rotate it specifically for a particular angle, then you can, again if I want to rotate it on my x-axis, I will press R, then X, and then I will press 90. So after that, my object is rotated on 90-degree angle. If I want it for 45-degree, press R, press X, then type 45 on your number pad, and your object will be in the 45-degree angle on your x-axis. Alright, so again if you want to undo at any time, you just have to press Ctrl Z to get into the previous position of your object. Alright, so one more shortcut key is available here to pan view. Like if you are beginner to this course, to zoom in or zoom out on this object, you just have to use that wheel button on your mouse to zoom in and zoom out. And if you hold your middle mouse button, then you can move along your object around all the directions according to the requirement. And if you hold the shift button and then hold the middle mouse, then you can pan around the work plane on your blender. Alright, so now we come to the cursor movement part, which is also very important, because the cursor not only represents the point, it also tells like at which position you want to place your new object. Like currently our cursor is in air at some position. So if I want my cursor to be in the origin of my work plane, so like this intersection part is my origin, and I want my cursor to move on to this place, I will just press shift and then press S. So this particular menu will open. You have to hold both the shift and S button to move around this menu, and then on the very left bottom part, here it's come cursor to the word origin. Just get your mouse here and leave every button. So my cursor has been moved to the origin of this word plane. So if I want my box again back to my word position, word origin. Again I will select my box, press shift and S, and on the top part it's written selection to cursor. That means whichever object has been selected, it will be moved to the cursor. As our cursor is already in the middle part, so it will automatically move to the middle section of our work plane. Now here comes a new menu arrives. So if you will hold the Z button, again a same type of menu will come. So here you have 4 different options: rendered, solid, material preview and wireframe. So whichever view you want at any position, you can just select that. Like currently I will select wireframe. In wireframe you will get the outlinings of your selected object. So you can also select these wireframe solid menu from the top right corner, as you can see. So here it's wireframe, solid, viewport, each and everything is available right here only. So you can select any out of there, or if you want to use the shortcut key, hold the Z button and select the required option. Third thing is our timeline, which is on the bottom part of your software. I will just drag it a little bit upward. So it's a timeline on which you can see your position at different C numbers. Like currently it starts from C number 02 up to C number 250. 0 is just a basic scene. We will almost start from the C number 1. So you can start from here and move up to 250, or whichever you want to select. You can choose accordingly to your animation video. Next part comes to our various properties, which are on the right side of your screen. As you can see, so many different these are quite confusing system parts if you are working on the Blender for the very first time. So no need to confuse in this. All these parts are here to help out to increase the quality of your animation and improve the projects and your designs. So the first property which you can see is called the rendering property. So in the rendering property you can change render engine, your viewport. So each and every section can be selected from here. Like currently it's on EV selection. You can choose workbench and cycles, so which we will be using in our upcoming videos also. Second thing here comes, which look like a printer. That is your output properties. In this you can change the resolution of your animation, frame rate and different aspects, like where you want to save your project, those types and file formats. All these are to be selected under this output properties. Then here come view layer properties. In this you can separate background and you can design both of the things separately. So these are the different parts which will add more detail to your animation, like combined, mist, normal, whichever you want to use. You can use these in the viewport property. After that, here comes the world setting, which is also one of the most important properties here. World property or a globe tab. Some people also call it a globe tab because it looks like a globe button. So in this you can change out your surface, like surface you have selected currently background, so you can change the surface, scene and volume of the object. Like currently volume is none. If you want to make it more fill up volume, like if you want to change the weather setting, for example the block in the background is having some different weather, like if you want to add some water like rainy season or a snowfall, you can change in this globe setting to get a perfect weather according to your requirement. And now the next part, the next set of properties are called object specific properties. Like currently all the above properties are to be used on the whole work plane, and the next properties are to be used on a specific object, specific selected object. So the first property is called object property. Like currently we have selected one block. In this you can change location, rotation, scale, object. All those details are available in this. object property. Then comes a different next property that is called modifier properties. It is one of the most important property. While in this property you can add different modifier, like if you want to make it skinny, screw, whatever you want to add, minute to minute detail is available under this modifier property, which this modifier property we will be using a lot in our upcoming videos. Here it comes the particle tab. In this, if you want to add some different particle structure in your animation, you can just press the plus button and select a different type of particles like this and improve the quality of your animation. Here comes the physics property. To add different physics dimension into your object, you can use this physics property tab. Like if you want some fire animation or some other stuff like that, you can all use these type of properties for those structures. Here come object constraint properties, which are quite similar to the modifier. So all those objects are available out here to improve the structure. Here comes a material tab. So material tab is basically to select a specific type of material, like how the world should react on your object. So these things are to be done under this section. So last thing is our material property, sorry, texture property. So in texture you can change the texture of your object. Like if you want to add some cloud texture into your video, so you can use the cloud part out here and then add further details. And this particular property we will be using in our upcoming videos. Alright, so while we are coming to the end of this video, we will be using this let's select this light property. So while you will be selecting this light option, a new pop-up window will come on your properties tab, which will look like a bulb, green bulb. Just click on that, and under this section you can change the properties of your this light segment, like whichever type of light you want, like a point like structure, like a sun, spot, area. And if you want to change the color, power of your light, each and everything can be controlled under this section. Alright, so that's it for the basic part of this Blender video tutorial. So in the next video we will be using most of these activities. Alright, so before ending this video, alright, so let's come to the next part, that is how to add different objects in the Blender. For that you just have to press shift and press A on your keyboard, and then you can select any sort of material you want to add on your work plane. Like I will select a mesh, and then I will add a UV sphere. So my UV sphere will pop up at whichever place my cursor was there. So I will just change the location of my cursor to this point, for example. Alright, so now again I will press shift A and add one cone out here. So at the position of my cursor, my new objects will be popping out there.
That's all in this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For instant information about our courses and competitions, press the bell icon. Thank you and have a great time.